SBS 113 has leaked. Let's talk about the most insane reveals. Oda officially confirms that Franky is Queen's son, or does everything but confirm it? Even though there was so much evidence for this, there was a lot of people that still didn't believe it. This confirms that Oda is dropping huge seeds in the Viver cards, so having theories based on the Viver cards is really not outlandish. We got the good and bad timeline Vivi. This is pretty funny, I'm not gonna lie, because you can see she's the celestial dragon right there. Someone wants to know why Luffy uses the word dawn in his Gear 5 attacks, and Oda just dodges it entirely. Obviously, this confirms that the questioner is onto something. Oda finally confirmed that the character in this cover page is actually Scopper Gaban. Oda then acknowledges that characters that appear in cover stories mostly come back in the main story, which is really good for the Enel and Gadatsu agenda. And one could argue this is beneficial for another agenda as well. We know that Zunisha poops, so we also know things about Jinbei now that I wasn't curious about in the first place, but okay. I could be misinterpreting this, but this might be Oda implying that Bonnie could be a Straw Hat. He explains that now that Bonnie's not a pirate captain searching for her father, she can take the form of a kid now that she's on board of the Sunny. So I just take this as more evidence for my Bonnie Straw Hat theory, but let me know what you guys think. Also, Oda confirms the current year that One Piece is taking place in. There's 2 different measurements of this. And yeah, that's basically the whole SBS. Of course, I'm disappointed that Oda chooses these type of questions over Bogard questions. Something he says time and time again in SBSs is that when he reveals this information, you can forget about it because it's not in the main story. He said this for the Red Hair Pirate, the Roger Pirate, and the Whitebeard Pirates. So I'm not tripping too hard that he's not included. But at this point, it does kind of feel like a purposeful exclusion in order to attempt to conceal the character more. I refuse to believe that this man hasn't tossed aside at least one Bogard question, okay? There is no way. Somehow he always manages to find these questions. This was literally the first one he answered. But if he sees the word Bogard in an SBS entry, it's not getting answered. You should propose a question that we know Oda's gonna answer. Like, does Jinbei grow hair down there? And make the question very long and detailed about how badly you want to know about this about Jinbei. And then at the very end, in tiny small print, we put a little message that says, let me know how you feel about Bogard. And Oda is forced to answer it because he can't fight his willpower when it comes to questions like that. Then again, he'd probably just dodge the Bogard question entirely and give a full detailed essay about the Jinbei question.